Dear students, welcome back. We'll continue our discussion. As I told you, this chapter revolves around equality. Here, what you have to concentrate here is what are the constitutional things with respect to equality? What are the things which are done by the government to implement these measures? And what is the reality at present? And also, you have to connect to justice. As we have studied, equality and justice are inseparable. Then equality have to connect with fraternity, the brotherhood, and also the freedom. Equality is the basis for many virtues, many ethos. Until and unless you think it over, and if you come up with concrete ideas, then only you can write these things in the examination. If you don't have concrete idea like how equality and injustice are inseparable, or how like we cannot have freedom, we can have fraternity, we cannot have unity in diversity without equality. If we are not connecting these things now, in examination it is very difficult to write, and you won't be getting the correct points too. Having said that, in your book they have mentioned a beautiful example in which they give the example of a shoe shine, means a person who polishes the shoes. In 1995 film Diwar, a boy who works as shoe shine. See, these are the people who are like working as shoe shines. They refuse to take up a coin thrown at them. So now I think now you won't be having coins. At that time, in fact, like still there were like 5 paise, 10 paise, 1, 2, all these things were there. So these people see the same color of cloths. These people, after getting the shoes shined, they throw the coin. But the boy who was working refuses to pick up the coin thrown at him. See, he is just arguing, or he refuses. Don't throw, don't throw. He feels that there is a dignity in the work that he does and insists that his fee be given respectfully. See, when he resists the thing, when he rewards, the person gives that in a very respectful way. Just imagine the situation. See, they have got the shoes shined. Afterwards, they have thrown the coin. The boy refuses to take this coin. And he says that there is a dignity in the work that I am doing. Please give me in a respectful way. This is what is known as recognizing dignity. This is what is known as recognizing dignity. Why recognizing dignity? Because the work he does, he feels that he has the dignity. The work has the dignity. It may be shoe polishing or anything. So very meaningful one. In the same line, let us see the things related to dignity. What will happen when you won't treat others with dignity? Have you ever come across a situation where people have not treated you with dignity? Or let me straight away ask you, why some people are not treated unequally? So why some people are treated unequally? So my dear students, any answer for this from your side? Why some people are treated unequally? We have come across many examples. This is what happens in the examination. See, very
prejudice.
easy thing. Please, Akhil.
Stereotypic mindset and prejudice towards the people.
Please be louder. Please come again.
Stereotypic mindsets and the prejudice towards the people.
Very good point. Stereotype
Mindset.
and the prejudice. Okay, very good thing. Then any other point? Social, okay. So social, it's a very broad one. In social, what are the things? You can take caste. You can take religion.
Their income.
Okay. So income, it comes to economic aspect. Economic, rich and poor means you are taking about the class one. So any other thing? So see here, what I'm stressing is the question is pretty easy and straightforward. Why some people are treated unequally? So here,
Sir,
the things, please.
sir, kind of the work that they do.
Okay, kind of work, very good. Any other? See, major things, very important thing, like gender, boy and girl, are they not treated equally? Unequally?
The color of
Color, okay, fairness, color,
lifestyle.
test, okay. So there are many reasons. See, these are very easy, but see, this is the same situation which you will be facing in mains examination. See, it's easy, direct questions, but you have to write this in 7 minutes. If you have not practiced these things, or if you don't have points, just points, if you don't have synaptic notes, or if you have not tried these kind of things. See, now we will be discussing why people are treated unequally. See, all this point, if you like, they will be in a flow, you can write them easily. So my dear students, whatever we are discussing after the class, like PPT will be available in the app, just make a very brief synoptic notes connecting the points, right? So here in the NCERT, they have given a very simple way. We are discriminated, or sometimes we are not treated equally because of the caste we are born with. So what are the reasons here? Caste, religion, the class background. Now this is becoming more. Even your caste, religion, they are not caring about. Now they are thinking about the class, the posh looking person, the people who have a lot of money, rich and the poor. Is one of the things happening. Whether you are a male or female, these are often the things that determine why some people are treated unequally. In our previous example, our Om Prakash Valmiki and Ansaris were treated unequally on the basis of the differences in caste and religion. So this is the basis, this is the foundation on which you can add upon many other things. Like as you have given good number of examples, maybe caste, race, creed, place of birth, sex, all these things. So these are the some of the reasons why you are not treated equally. Moving forward, why people should not be treated unequally. Let me hear from you. Why we should not treat anyone unequally. See, I'm not going outside NCERT because since they are made with a lot of research, I'm just disappearing some of the important things which are given in a beautiful 7th standard book. Afterwards, we'll go till, like, if the time permits, we'll cover all the other NCERTs too. Why people should not be treated unequally?
Constitutional obligations, sir.
Oh, very good. constitutional obligation, or you can say that
They
Constitution, Constitution is the law of the land, which takes care of the concept, noble concept of equality. So we cannot treat. Next. Next
Important
answer.
to ensure unity in the country.
Unity in the country. Very good. We have just discussed, we cannot have justice without equality. We cannot have brotherhood without justice. We cannot have freedom without equality. From all the things, these are like general things. Let us concentrate on individual. What will be the thing when you treat someone as unequal individually, how that person feels?
Emotional
What are the
sabotage.
things? Please.
Emotional sabotage.
Okay, emotional sabotage. Then any other?
It affects their upbringing.
It
Affects their upbringing.
affect their
Generational impact.
upbringing. Okay, okay. Like, can you make them very specific? Like, this is definitely good points. To the point, as an individual. Say, for example, I am a Dalit boy. I am discriminated. I am made to see. In case of Valmiki, Om Prakash Valmiki, he was not treated equally. How that individual feels? Ansari, he was not given house. He is having money. How does that individual feels?
Exclusion from society.
Exclusion in society. Okay. Any other thing? Why we should not treat them, or how they feel, the individuals, how they feel? When you are not treating them equally.
Inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex, and also, please you go to the topic title. Dignity of the individual, the self-respect of the individual will be affected.
Yes.
He will feel inferior. He feel, I am an individual who is worth low. Am I not worth that? His self-confidence decreases, self-esteem, self-respect. He feels inferior. He feels that I am not worthy of. So these are some of the things which you can write. In NCERT, it says, when persons are not treated, when persons are treated unequally, their dignity is violated. Very important. So when you are not treating equally, dignity is violated. The worth, you feel that you are not worth, dignity is violated. Makes them feel as if they are less than equal to all others. It brings an element of inferiority conflict. It affects every aspect of their life. So two important things: when you're not treating anyone equally, or when a person of a so-called lower caste, or when a Dalit, or when a minority, or any, like say for example, person of another gender, when they are not treated equally, their dignity is violated, number one, and they feel that they are less than equal to all others. This will have a lot of repercussions with respect to other aspects also, right? By picking on him, means, and also making him sweep the school because of his caste, Om Prakash Valmiki, being a child, could not do anything. He could do very little about the situation. So here both his dignity is violated and he is feeling that he is less than equal. But here he couldn't do anything because he was a child. This is what happens with respect to when people are treating someone Say, for example, caste, creed, with respect to money. Say now the class system is going on. So they are not able to do anything. Our Om Prakash couldn't do anything, could do very little about the situation because he was very small. Similarly, in the other conditions, it will be other, he will be helpless. But the Ansari's dignity was hurt when the person refused to lease their apartment. However, when the property dealer suggested that they change their name, it was the dignity or the self-respect that made them refuse this suggestion. Why they did not change their name to Mr. and Mrs. Kumar? It was their dignity, it was their self-respect that made them refuse this suggestion. So very important, dear students, here you please connect to the things with respect to the stereotypes, with respect to prejudice, equality, you connect it to justice. Now equality, we are connecting to the dignity. You have to connect this with the freedom, unity, diversity, all these things. So equality is the cornerstone. Without equality, you cannot think of justice at all. Here also you can think, give a thought, and also try to find situation where is there any chance of having justice without equality? When you think like that, you'll get new points. Your decision making skills will improve. The real answer writing begins with this kind of thought. Let us see, like in India, we boast that India is a democracy. India is a democratic country. Here we say that every individual is treated equally according to the constitution. But is this a reality? Equality in Indian democracy, the parliament is the cornerstone of our democracy, and we are represented in it through our elected representatives. Parliament is the cornerstone of our democracy. Why it is the cornerstone? Number one, parliament. Parliament, one line definition. Union, legislature. Union legislature is called parliament. Union legislature is called parliament. There you have got lower house, upper house, and also the president. This is important. So president, though he is an executive, is a part of the parliament. This question has already appeared. Though he is a executive, is a part of the parliament. See here how beautifully they have represented. In a parliamentary form of government, we have our representatives who will be taking decisions. In this way, we will be taking the decision for ourselves. So we say that parliament is a cornerstone of our democracy, and we are represented in it through our elected representatives. You are represented in the government. You are part of the government through your representatives. Moving forward with the same concept, let us discuss some of the important things. The Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal. I think no doubt about this. But I would like to hear from you. Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal. How? Please tell me how we have discussed this one. How Indian Constitution recognizes every person as equal.
As part of the preamble, as part of the fundamental rights.
Preamble as part of the fundamental rights. Any other thing?
Directive principles of state policy.
Please. Any other point?
Directive principles of state policy also, like aim towards economic and social equality.
Okay. Any other point? So the main important thing which you have to write, definitely all these things, preamble, fundamental right, directive principle. The main important things which you have to write is, my dear students, fundamental rights, very important, please do concentrate. Fundamental rights are divided by the Constitution itself. In this, the first division is with respect to equality. So these are the things which you have to directly mention. In fact, like right to vote, a very important thing which you forgot. This is also a form where equality is explicitly been made. Preamble, fundamental rights, directive principle, you can follow like direct duties, all the things. But
Universal adult franchise.
universal adult suffrage, universal adult franchise, all these things. But important thing, when it comes to, say, for example, equality, Article 14 to Article 18, you have to mention everything present here. When it comes to freedom, please mention all the articles 19, 20, and 21. Right against discrimination, religious thing. So in all these things, those articles which explicitly say these things, you have to mention them first. So Indian Constitution do recognize every person as equal. In that, first and foremost, you have to mention these articles. In every aspect, you have to mention them because Constitution itself is giving you these things. Then my next question is, but inequality does exist. So what do you say for this? Constitution recognizes that each person has equal. Constitution recognizes each person as equal. But inequality does exist. Constitution has abolished untouchability, but we still have untouchability in some corners. So what you have to say for this? Not only with respect to equality, this is a general thing. Constitution says that no discrimination, but still we have discrimination. The answer for this is here, my dear students. For this, you should not, because you are a civil servant, future civil servant, you cannot criticize the democracy. If you criticize democracy, you are criticizing yourself. You cannot criticize the Constitution. But you can say, what is the present context? Say, according to some reports, these are the things which are existing. We don't have equality, all these things. But what is the take home? How you have to conclude this kind of answers, which say that Constitution says that all should be treated equally, but there is no equality. Then you have to say that in India, Constitution recognizes that each person is equal. Constitution recognizes equality. We have got laws which try to bring about equality, but inequality does exist. Inequality does exist. Equality is a dynamic thing. It's not a static thing. We are in the process. We're in the process of achieving. What equality today may not be different from what equality tomorrow. So at least we have a law which is trying to bring about equality. We have to come up with new laws. We have to come up with more laws which can be implemented. And over a period of time, if this continues, there will be a day where we can have equality. At the same time, you can come up with the examples of our America, where, as I told you, till 1964, the Black American or Afro-Americans were not treated equally. It is a process which is happening around the world. Then how government is implementing the equality? Can you come up with some of the suggestions or some of the things which they already have? how government is implementing the equality. Okay, let
Yeah,
me
you
give
mean-
you a hint for
Sir,
this. Please,
to stop
please,
the
please.
exploitation on the lower caste, the government has made a Prevention of Atrocities Act.
Very good.
and Beti Bachao, Beti
Then,
Padhao for gender related discriminations.
very good. Then
सबका साथ सबका विकास initiative by the government.
Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Okay. So here, one of the important thing is you can list most of the government schemes and programs. Number one, and also the acts. Here, two important dimensions: how government is implementing equality, how government is implementing the things which are there in the constitution. One is through law, and another is with respect to programs and schemes. How? Number one is law. So you should have a fair idea of all the laws which are implementing, and also schemes and programs. These are the two ways through which government is trying to bring equality. So this is the gist of the some of the most important things with respect to equality. Indian constitution recognizes every person as equal. This means that every individual in the country, including male, female persons from all caste, religion, tribe, educational and economic background, are recognized as equal. Indian constitution recognizes each person as equal. It means that each individual is recognized as equal. So constitution recognizes, constitution treats everyone equally. Constitution is not discriminating. Constitution is not providing any extra privileges. But this is not to say that inequality ceases to exist. Constitution
Sir,
treats every individual equally, recognizes equality. Yes,
sir, government has also made a Protection of Civil Rights Act to eradicate the untouchability also.
yes, very good point. So can you be louder? Protection of?
Protection of Civil Rights Act, sir.
Yes, Civil Rights Act, that is the one with respect to Article 17. So all these things are there. This is not to say that inequality doesn't exist. Inequality does exist. So like how you have to write is, but at least in democratic India, the principle of equality for all persons is recognized. So here you are very, very logically taking the things. Constitution has recognized equality, but inequality does exist. So it doesn't mean that our democracy is waste or constitution is waste. The principle of equality for all is recognized. The principle is recognized. While earlier, no law existed to protect the people from discrimination and ill treatment. We were not having any law previously. Now at least we have got some laws. Earlier, no law existed that protected people from discrimination and ill treatment. Now, there are several that work to see that people are treated with dignity as equal. Very important. So, there are many laws which treat people with dignity and as equal. When it comes to with dignity, like you can write many things which comes in Article 21. We'll discuss that in a greater detail later. So here we have got at least some principle which treats all people as equal. Previously, it was not there. If you go to some other like monarchs, they won't be treating their people equally. At least in in our democracy, we have got this principle. This recognition of equality includes some of the following provisions in the Constitution. So these are the provisions which are given in the Constitution, the fundamental rights from Article 14 to Article 18. All of these are very simple. Just I'll go through them first. That every person is equal before law. What is this equal before law? This means that every person from president of the country to the Kanta, the domestic worker, has to obey the same law. Equal before law. What is equal before law? Means that all have to obey the same laws. There is no separate law, no preferential treatment. And the next, it is no person can be discriminated against on the basis of their race, religion, caste, place of birth, or whether they are male or female. See, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the 5 things based on which we cannot discriminate. Every person has access to all public places, including playground, hostels, shops, markets. All person can use public available wells, roads, bathing ghats. These are some of the provisions. And also untouchability has been abolished, Article 70. We can add one more, the 5th one, abolition of titles. So these are the ways in which Constitution is trying to bring equality. So Constitution has recognized equality in these aspects with respect to fundamental rights. The 2 ways in which the government has tried to implement the equality that is guaranteed in the Constitution is, number 1, as we discussed, the laws. So here a point of clarification, laws are those which are made by your legislature. These laws are made within the broader framework of your Constitution. So anything to be called as law, they have to be passed by the legislature, and also they have to get the assent of the president. Means to say that both the houses has to pass them and they have to get the assent of your president. Then only it will be called as law or an act. If there is something ending with rules, environment rules, motorcycle rules, so these are the things made by your executive, your Modi ji, your Jagan, Yediyurappa. These people will make rules. So this will be below the act or law or giving effect to your laws. In 1976 Untouchability Offences Act 1955 has been comprehensively amended and renamed Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955. So my dear students, now Untouchability Offences Act, it has been renamed as Civil Rights Act 1955. Very important. See, every individual, you are knowing like 17 untouchability, abolition of untouchability. The law pertaining to this is Civil Rights Act 1955. So this is one way by which government is trying to implement equality. The other is second through the government programs or the schemes. Second is through government programs or the scheme to help the disadvantaged to improve the lives of the communities and individuals who have been treated unequally for several centuries, to ensure greater opportunity for the people who have not had this in the past. So first is with respect to law, and second is with respect to the government programs and schemes. Here, as you have noted, like there are many different schemes. So by these 2 ways, government is trying to implement the equality which is guaranteed by the Constitution. Here, let us take a very important example. Please concentrate. Very important example here. This you can write in all your answers. So previously I took up 2 ethics case studies where the question was, the whole society is corrupt. whole society is corrupt. Very important example, because why I'm stressing it again is this example you can write in many of the case studies, many of the answers. See, it's more related to corruption, your ethical things. See, you are the only honest person. All the people, like 1,000 people in the society, are dishonest. You are the only honest person. So others say that why you are honest when the whole society is corrupt. You being honest will have a lot of negative repercussions, not only on you, your family. Say, for example, think that the whole police department is corrupt. You are the only person who is honest. By this, you'll be facing many hardships. Why? Why you want to like give trouble to your family, yourself, all these things? And also, you alone fighting against corruption won't be of any use. This is a question which often comes. So now, for the answer for all this thing is, the name is also very easy to remember. Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks, a very beautiful name you can remember. An Afro-American woman changed the course of the American history with one defiant act. See, you can see here. In 1955, this happened. Think that this is Rosa Parks. She was sitting here. Earlier laws, or at that time, the law said that all the Afro-Americans have to sit in the back. Means if this is the bus and this is the driver, they have to sit in the back. You know, in back, sitting in the back is very difficult for many reasons. And also, there were laws like if some white person comes, say for example, this white gentleman, if he comes and asks, please leave the seat, they have to leave the seat. This woman, she already finished, like she was coming from work. She refused to get up when a white person asked for seat. This led to what is known as civil rights movement. It changed the entire history of America. See, this is an example of a single woman, not an extraordinary woman. The whole revolution began. The history of America changed. So you can quote this example. So I have given in the beginning 2 important case studies where like they are saying like what is the use you being alone honest. This example you can take. Only one individual. She refused to give the seat and this became a movement. So we'll be discussing this in a like systematic way later, and very, very important. You can write this in all the example where they can say that when all the society, the whole society is corrupt, what is the use you being honest? You can say this one. It's a very, very important example. And my dear students, you should be able to write this in one line with very like condensed, short and sweet. Your answer should be, don't write stories again. You won't be having the liberty of time, right? In many democratic countries around the world, the issue of equality continues to be the key issue around with the community struggle. So not only in India, the issue of equality is around the world. Even the most developed countries, in the most developed country, you have this one. In the United States of America, the Afro-Americans whose ancestors were slaves, so their ancestors were slaves, were brought over from Africa, continue to describe their lives today as largely unequal. So not only in India, around the world, this is a phenomenon. This despite the fact that there was a movement in the late 1950s to push for equal rights for African Americans. Prior to this, African Americans were treated extremely unequally in the United States and denied equality through law. Very important. Before this movement, there were these people of African Americans, they were extremely treated unequal treatment was inflicted among them. They were denied equality through law. See, this is one of the example where you can say that laws cannot be equated to ethics, because through law, African Americans were treated extremely unequally and they were denied equality. That is through law. So we cannot treat these kind of laws as ethical, fair. For example, when traveling by bus, they either had to sit at the back of the bus or get up from their seat whenever a white person wished to sit here. See here, you can say like in some cases, I'm not saying that you have to defend some of the bad things which we have with respect to casteism or untouchability. This we can give as it is a continuous process. We are in the direction. We are in the direction of having greater equality. See here, this you are having in 1950s, at least after independence, by law, we are not having these kind of things in India. Means, what I meant to say is, we were somehow to a greater extent better than the Americans, because Americans, they boast of the democratic ethos. They feel that they are the torchbearers of democracy. They are the torchbearers of equality. In those lands also, we had these things, and we still have these kind of things. Rosa Parks, an African American, changed the course of the American history with one defiant act. What was that? Rosa Parks was an African American woman. Tired from a long day at work, she refused to give up her seat. So what she did? She refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man on December 1st, 1955. Her refusal that day started a huge agitation against the unequal ways in which the African Americans were treated, and which came to be known as civil rights movement. So what is this civil rights movement? It is by the African Americans, that is the black people, for equality, against discrimination. So here, just one woman, ordinary woman, she refused to give up her seat. This led to a movement. So my dear students, if you are honest and if the whole society is corrupt, you can also bring a revolution like this. You can also make history. Don't feel that your efforts will go waste. This example you can quote. Moving forward, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. See how late they have come up with. Civil Rights Act of 1960. We had like abolition of the untouchability long before itself, prohibited discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or national origin. Why? Because in America, almost all the people who are there, except some natives, all are from different nations. They're all migrants. It also stated that all schools would be open to African American children, and that they would no longer have to attend separate schools specially set up for them. Means before this, there were special schools set up for them. However, despite this, a majority of African Americans continue to be among the poorest in the country. See, my dear students, what important thing African Americans they are using. They are not using the term Negro, or they are not using the term black people. So this kind of refined way of the things, writing the things, will indicate your attitude towards people, how you respect them, how you are honoring the dignity of others. Most African American children can only afford to attend the government schools that have fewer facilities, and poorly qualified teachers as compared to white students who either go to private schools or live in areas where government schools are as highly rated as private schools. So here in India, we can compare this and we can say that inequality is existing around the world despite of laws. In India, in fact, we had laws way back after the Constitution. Take for the example of America, where Civil Rights Act came into being in 1964, where there was discrimination. This is not to defend that in India, it is not to defend the discriminatory treatment or the existence of equality. It is just to say comparison of the things. Right? And moving forward, this is a very, very important and exciting example. Before I start some things discussing about these things, let me tell a very important thing. Here, this is with respect to sustainable development goals. Zero hunger, goal 2. Dear students, like you will be behind current affairs daily. I have given you, you have to go topic wise. You have to go topic wise. Say for example, sustainable development. Please do master these sustainable development goals first, because you will be getting questions here. Simply reading the newspaper won't make you perfect. I'll bet you won't be having more than 100 topics in current affairs where you have to prepare. And because these are of national and international importance, very important point in context, please do internalize all sustainable development goals. If you are in civil service, if you like other than civil service also, it is of a great value, very, very important. Sustainable development goals, please do internalize. So here, let me ask you, these are the things which you already know. Number one, see, this is in one of the northern states where they are supplying like midday meals. Now, we have discussed some of the things with respect to the constitution. Now coming to some of the programs. What is the midday meal program? So it's a very easy one. Let me answer this one. Midday meals. Midday means providing meals to the school children in the afternoon. Midday meals. This is simple one. So simple one I have answered. A little bit difficult one. Let me know from you. Can you list the 3 benefits of the program? So what are the benefits of the program? Yes.
It helps to increase the decrease the dropouts of the school.
Decrease in dropout, very good. Next.
Also increase the nutrition value, nutrition to the children.
Nutrition, very good. Then, like you have to give at least 10. First.
It nurtures better.
Nurture better. Next. What are the benefits of midday meal scheme?
It fulfills.
See, answer one more here itself. It promotes greater equality. Like you have to get, like it brings unity. It brings fraternity. Dropouts, okay, education point of view, nutritional point of view. What are the other things?
Increase in the literacy rate.
Increased literacy rate, okay. Then
Empowerment.
Empowerment. Okay, who said empowerment? Can you please elaborate how empowerment? Okay, let's ask you. Midday meals program was a landmark program. In fact, it was the Tamil Nadu government which started this program in 2001, and Supreme Court ordered that like all the states should come up with this kind of program within 6 months, all the states. Why was this made? Let us start like from the beginning with respect to these things. Say for example, a child comes to the school. Afterwards, they have to go in the afternoon for food. So that is one problem which can be avoided. Second one, in the afternoon, their parents, mother or someone has to bring the food if it is not prepared in the morning. And also, it was found that previously those students who go for like lunch break, they never come back for many reasons. Once they are gone, they're gone. When they are eating together, they are not having any discriminatory thing. See here, you might have come across these kind of things. Say for example, in Sikhism, you have got communal langars, means where people will be fed communally. When all are doing the same things, we feel a kind of unity. Say for example, in Islam, you have got a prayer, like all they come together and they pray at one time. This brings a kind of unity in them. When you share food, it brings a kind of unity in them. Gender equality, caste discrimination, all these things can be eliminated. Okay, let me hear from you with respect to equality. How do you think this program might help to promote greater equality? How this promotes equality? How?
It improves socialization among the different people from different communities.
Okay, Akhil, be a little louder.
So it improves socialization between the people with different communities. I mean castes, religion.
Okay. Then how it brings equality? Same. Okay. Similarly, take the example. All the students are having uniform. How uniform brings equality? Wearing just uniform, does that brings equality or discrimination?
It will bring equality, sir.
Like how can you apply this one? Well, while preparing the food, a Dalit cook may be involved. A Dalit cook preparing the food and students taking this. And also very important here, inculcation of values. Here you don't have a prejudice with respect to our social system. Say for example, when you are at home, when you are in village, say for example, you are in a university, like SV University or some other university. When you are staying in that hostel, you won't be following any caste system, all these things. But the same individual, when you go to your village, it's a different scenario. So inculcation of values takes place in three important things, areas, in three important places. One is your family, and another is society, and another is educational institution. Inculcation of values means not that which comes with trial and error method. Inculcating values means putting something in your brain through repetition. By telling something is right, by telling something is wrong repeatedly, you are putting some things into the brain of the children. So in all these ways, you can bring about equality. Here, the thing which you can add upon and which is given in most of the book is preparation of food by the Dalit. So when the food is prepared by the Dalit and when it is taken by all, it creates a kind of breaking the stereotype. So these are some of the important things. My dear students, here, please go home. Think about the third one, which we'll discuss in a greater detail. Like, how do you think that this program will help to promote greater equality? For this, a hint you can take from the uniform. Like all the students will be wearing uniform. How does that brings equality? So this is a very, very important question from the UPSC point of view. Previously, they have asked republic. What do you understand by the term republic? So they may ask you, what do you understand by the term equality? How is equality the cornerstone? How is equality important to bring about other virtues? So this and many other related like subjective things we'll discuss in our next session. I would like to hear if you have got any doubt with respect to the things which we have discussed in this class.
Sir, one thing. So whatever points we have to justify, right? That has to be like derived out of constitution only, right? Like we cannot say that as part of human values, this is right or this is wrong, because it could be the case that the same thing which is like right in one culture is not right in the other culture. So we have to always refer constitution.
Okay, like your point is like, okay, but the thing is, any law, any religion or constitution, they are all based on, the basis is the ethical standards. They may be little different, but all teach the same. Laws, rules, regulations. That is the reason in your syllabus in ethics they have rules, regulations, and laws as the source of ethical guidance. There may be some exceptions, but all will be based on the ethical standard itself. So, constitution, good. At the same time, human rights. Say, for example, you take fundamental rights, it is also full of human rights. Say, for example, show me our like constitution where it is not having nor violating human rights. So, like your point is correct, but in fact, there is a very thin line which is demarcating human rights or your constitution. So, human rights, taking human rights is also best. It doesn't mean that you have to, there is conflict between human rights and constitution. So constitution, you have to abide by the constitution and you have to have human rights also. They're not opposite. They're in fact complementary. Right?
Okay. Sir.
Any other doubt? Okay. If you don't have any out, let me just wind up the class. We'll discuss some of the things which we have like not discussed in depth today, tomorrow. And please do participate, and many of you are not participating. My dear students, this is a great advantage. Like you have got a kind of like an element of anonymity here. Please do participate. What I have found is like, see, like now itself I can gauge, like I can like over a period of time, I can tune like how you have to write answers. Like by the way you answer. Otherwise, I won't be in the position to individually give direction as to like what is wrong with you. And also, if you just think that others will answer, your answer writing, your thought won't develop. You will be getting service only when you develop thoughts. Right? Okay, having said that, let me conclude my session. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.